Hi, real quick, I'd just like to apologize for somehow misreading the assignment entirely and missing the deadline on it too. So, my bad. Real quick, I'm just gonna go over what the kind of like a explanation of my poems. The theme that I tried to go for was ocean, which the last poem obviously doesn't really stick to that theme, but that one's kind of a joke poem anyway, so I figure it doesn't really matter that much. And I was kind of influenced to write the poems using that theme by I can't remember the name of the poem somehow. I've been talking about it all semester, but the poem that let me see if I can find it. Whatever. It's the Sea Fever, John Masefield. That one. I was influenced by that one, and I wanted to write something that was similar to that because I felt moved by his poem, and I kind of wanted to see if I could do something similar to it. So, without further ado, I'll just jump into reading the poems. So none of them have titles because I'm lazy and I don't really like making titles for poems. So, bustle, quick, erratic movement. People jumping, children shouting, continuous streams all meet in the middle because every river meets at the sea. And every person finds solace when they watch. With time, every river slowly returns to the mountains uproot and flee, and the life surrounding dies, just as all things die that depend on the sea. Wasteland, barren, all rocks and trash tumbleweed, all spinning, because everything ends sometime. This poem was, I was, over spring break, I went to Key West, and I saw an empty parking lot right by the beach. So that one is just exactly what that poem was kind of, it's describing a empty parking lot at a beach. So not all of them have that little explanation that I'm going to give, but that one does. So I figured I would give it. Second one, the call is great, intoxicating, like Buck finally can succumb to his call. We all will fall, down into the warm depths where fear dies and home lives. Again, that one doesn't really have anything that inspired it. She comes for us all, shrimp or whale, childish or senile. All things truly are the same to her. Her song draws us to her, and we come. Oh yes, we come, willing or unwilling, like rats following the sweet sound of a pipe. We follow. That one, kind of, obviously you can kind of tell that I'm referencing the Pied Piper, but again, common theme of the ocean, and I think that one really is influenced by John Masefield's, because he constantly talks about how the sea is always calling him back, and that one, again, the comparison to the Pied Piper and the ocean seems to fit pretty well for me. The ocean is free to roam, free to choose, free not only for what it can do, but what cannot be blamed on it. The ocean is blameless. Blameless for murder, blameless for destruction, blameless because it's free. This one, funnily enough, is actually kind of comes from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I think it's the first one, when Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth are on the island, and he's talking about why he likes being a pirate, and how the ocean gives him freedom. I think it's that one. It might be the third one. I don't really remember. But I love those movies, and the ocean kind of applies to them. And the ocean, again, just seems like it's a very free place, you know what I mean? So, I yearn for the embrace, the touch on my face, the welcome precipitation, the joyous encapsulation. When can it finally begin? I must go down to the sea again. So that one directly references, I'm just quoting the last line from John Masefield's poem. So that one, I think that one might be my favorite out of the collection. I just like that one a lot. It's also the only one that rhymes out of all of them. Well, the second to last one does rhyme, but again, that one's kind of a poem. So yeah, I like that one a lot. So the sixth one, watch me as I go down to the water. The free, sensuous, loving, non-physical but physical water. It is beauty personified, the perfect example, the 31st proverbial woman. It is a god, wild, untamed, uncontrolled, the god of the Genesis, the god of change. Spinoza's god, natural yet unnatural, beauty but horror, absolute, not the absolute, simply one of many. So that one is kind of, to someone who doesn't really know my view of philosophy and stuff, it reads very philosophical, but that one's kind of not really philosophical, and it's kind of just me spouting off a bunch of different things that I think are kind of funny. So yeah, because Spinoza's, all of this, anytime that Spinoza is mentioned, I kind of can't help but laugh because his philosophy is a little bit weird. So yeah, the seventh one, this is when it this is when it definitely starts to kind of go downhill. His name is Larry. He had a lover named Barry. Stuart was the name of the mouse. The three all lived in a big lighthouse. They all lived and loved by the great wide sea, and watched as often they named Chelsea. The storms would come, but they'd weather them all. That was until Chelsea came to call. She washed up on the beach, large circles on her epidermis. Larry and Barry ran outside, ruining the day they became hermits. As they watched astonished, the sea began to churn. From the sea rose a giant squid, causing them to wish for an urn. They ran to the lighthouse, leaving Chelsea's body. The squid followed after, climbing onto land, made it seem quite groggy. Smashing a puckered arm into the door, it shook the whole town. Larry took charge, ordered Barry, who was acting like a clown. Barry ran to get the gun while Larry pushed against the door. The squid smashed the door again, wishing it was indoors. The tentacles constricted, cracking the paint. Barry returned with the gun, never one to disappoint. Larry snatched it quick, fired right at the squid. The squid took the hit and fled for Madrid. Stuart was glad he brought out some bread. Barry was so glad he set the clocks ahead. So that one, I kind of tried to emulate like a weird version of Dr. Seuss for. So, beauty and grace equally, love and life simultaneously. The ocean is like Shrek. There you go. That one's kind of self-explanatory. So hopefully the explanation of all of them kind of made sense. So see ya.